I'd say even at the start, you've got to lose some money. You've got to put money into your brand to grow.
Hi, I'm Ruby May and welcome back to The Shed. I'm here with Josh Flexton, the owner of Sabotage Thursdays. Welcome to The Shed, Josh.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
How's your day been so far?
Day's been great, yeah. Sun shining. Can't complain.
No, it's very warm.
Positive days.
It's a nice temp.
Yeah, it's
good.
It's great.
Well, it's lovely to have you on.
Thank you. It's fun to be here.
It's very good.
Got a cool little shed.
Isn't it just?
Amazing.
Got to have all our little bits and bobs hanging about.
Yeah.
What do you think first kind of got you into music?
I've definitely always been into music my whole life. Started playing instruments, getting into that world. I was a drummer.
Play? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I was a drummer. Started drumming at 6, I think. And then I got a guitar as my SATs present in year 6.
Oh.
So I started playing guitar for a good 10 years. It was a while.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, so you can play drums, guitar.
Yeah, well, I could. As you get older, you want
electronic.
some more older kind of styles of music. And
did you start going to more events when you started getting older? Is that kind of what led you
kind of,
it?
Yeah. I kind of fell in love with the music again, of the EDM kind of dance music side. And then that's kind of led me to the events world.
Okay. And DJing, when did that come?
Yeah, DJing came in during lockdown.
Okay.
So it was kind of what do I do?
A bit of a hobby that you picked up.
Yeah. So I was into producing. I liked making songs and beats and stuff like that. And then I thought, as it's lockdown, I'll teach myself how to DJ, as that's going to get me some money before any sort of music does. I wanted to be a producer and artist at that point. Lockdown came and I thought, no, I will DJ. I'll teach myself. This is a good time to teach myself.
Did you want to do it before and you just kind of
100%. I wanted to DJ for years of my life, genuinely, but I never got into it.
Who got you into wanting to do DJing, do you think?
To be honest, I was into dance music because my dad used to listen to that when we were growing up. And then when he passed away and I was going through some of his stuff, found his old records and I was like, this is cool. This is interesting. So he was more into the trance world. Okay. I was no, dance music's sick. I want to make dance music. So it was more house and drum and bass, early stage.
That's what you were making at that point.
Yeah. And then
went more into the
drum and bass.
And do you think that's kind of how it's? So by the end of lockdown, you were more doing
100%.
What do you think kind of spurred you to start putting on events, and especially dance music events?
So it was obviously when I was in lockdown, teaching myself to DJ, and I really wanted sets, and no one would give me a set because obviously I hadn't played out anywhere.
Yep.
And I had no experience, but I wanted that experience.
And this is all in Brighton?
No, so this is in Worthing, where I grew up. And so I reached out to loads of places, didn't get any kind of good responses. So I was just kind of no, I'll do this myself. And it sounds silly, but I took my decks and speakers down to the beach, allegedly twisted some lockdown rules, and had some little parties, and that's where my sort of brand of events started. And it was under Ludacris at the time, but this came later. So we'll bring down the decks, we'll bring down the speakers, and every week it was kind of I just had a Snapchat account for it, and we'll post on it being oh, we're down, and then people would show up and we have a little party. This then kind of just fizzled out. We did quite a few. There was a few incidents with a couple of them, and it just fizzled out, and then started uni, and that's how Sab is now about.
Hey, do you want to tell us a little bit more about how that all started and what it was like when you first started putting on those events?
So I didn't start the foundations of Sabotage. A fellow student at uni started that, and I kind of joined. Well, we joined in September, and we did it from then together. But now I'm the sole owner of it. It's been great.
How did it become weekly?
So originally there was 4 promoters on every Thursday of the month.
Okay.
All different brands. We had I think it was the second Thursday of every month, which is quite cool. It's a good time of the month. People just had paydays, but it's not straight after payday, so it's quite a good week.
Yeah.
We had a few successful events, and we were just the more successful one. So then they took on us, and it was weekly.
And what do you think have been the biggest challenges with promoting during the week events?
So it's hard with weekly because you've got to price your tickets at the cheapest possible price, and it's really hard when you're trying to grow as a brand. And
we sell tickets for £5.
Yeah, so online it's 2 for a fiver or £3 each, and then on the door it's £5. Pretty cheap for a night out.
Yeah.
And then the drink deals are again, it's £3 for a vodka. You know what I mean? Cheap.
Folks is the place to be.
Yes, exactly. So then these headliners and then promoting your own event, and that's how you kind of gain quite a lot of followers from that.
Yeah.
But then it's hard to match that with the rising costs of how much artists are.
Yep.
And then also matching that with the ticket prices.
How do you think you find that balance between like booking big headliners and then booking more emerging artists?
So I'm testing that out this year.
Yeah.
Had a very successful Halloween event, which then has given me some opportunities to do more headliners.
I can't remember who it was.
Yes, so we had AC13 and DRZ come down for that. And it was a really, really successful night. It really opened my eyes up to what events can actually be. And so this year I thought, you know, it's my last year of uni, I've just got to try this, and we're just doing headliners about every 6 weeks. 6 weeks it works out as.
And that's when you'll book a big artist, do a big headliner.
Exactly, yeah. Okay. And it's great to like give the like locals an opportunity to play on like a big artist card. But it's also hard to then match that kind of price point, you know.
Yeah, and the energy as well of the artist.
Yeah, 100%. With the weekly events, it kind of matches
balances out.
Yeah, so I'm willing to like.
You can risk it sometimes a bit more.
Yeah, you can take it a bit of risk. Exactly that. Yeah.
Okay.
But it's definitely a challenge, and I'm still working it out, to be honest. But
is there any advice you could give for somebody who's not putting on weekly events and dealing with that like financial risk?
Yeah, it's true. If you want to do an event and you want to have a headliner and you want to put some money into it, you've got to be willing to lose that money. You know, a successful event is just breaking even. That's how it goes.
And is that how you think it is at the start? Like you are just having to make sure that you are breaking even just so you're getting that experience?
I'd say even at the start, you've got to lose some money. You've got to put money into your brand to grow. And then you can get to a point where, you know, breaking even, that's good. And then you can make profit from that. But like, it is definitely a progression. You will lose money at the start. It's just how it goes. But like, just know it does get better.
What do you think has been one of the nicest moments with putting Sabotage on?
I'll definitely say like the community that the brand has built now.
Yeah.
Having all these local DJs now meet each other from different backgrounds. You know, they're not all just local as well. They're coming from different parts around the south. Some people come down from London. Some people come from, you know, Bognor, Chichester, you know, all along the coast. And it's nice to sort of have this sort of community now of DJs.
Do you feel like you're quite proud of the community that you've built around
100%.
it?
Yeah. No, it is nice to see, and it's also nice to be appreciated, which is something that I've been realising a little bit more in recent times. Really, it's actually lovely. That people do appreciate the opportunities, because it is tough. It's a tough world, and it's a tough graft. And obviously every week,
like dance music is like it's riddled with that community value,
100%.
Especially in the underground scene. And it is nice that there are still places and promoters like you who are putting on events that mean that to people still.
100%. And I think Volks is a great place for that as well. Like the whole ethos around Volks, even if they're not coming from Sab, they're just there on a Thursday night because it's Volks. They don't know anything about the brand. There's a really nice element of community and
down there.
Yeah. Like it's a very safe space.
Yeah, it's very welcoming. I mean,
welcoming.
I've been to your events. I know that you get everybody kind of come to there. And it's just a space for everyone to go and dance and enjoy the music.
Yeah. Like it's no more than that. It's just coming down to have a little dance off. And
do you think they're like big values with Sabotage?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, definitely. Like the community would be a big value, but I
don't think you brand it like that at all.
No. It's like definitely not branded. Yeah. 100%. And maybe I should play on with the branding more, but I don't know. I think it gets a little bit cheesy.
It doesn't have to be like that.
No, 100%.
What do you think your goals are with Sabotage?
It's a great question. I'm still trying to work that out for myself, to be honest. Keep it going as long as I can.
Yeah. I mean, you love doing it, don't you?
Yeah, I really, really enjoy it. There's no negatives to it, to be honest. I would like to start building a little team around it now. Having some other.
Do you run it solely yourself now?
Yeah.
Like Instagram?
Everything. Promotions, bookings.
Yeah.
There on the night.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It is a lot. And now I'm trying to start other projects, I kind of need to not take a step back, but I need
more help,
other shoes filled.
Like supporting you.
Yeah. Exactly that. And like, you know, it's quite tedious. Not tedious, that's the wrong word, but it can be quite draining having to find people every week. You know, I need 5 DJs every week. That's like nearly 30 names a month.
Yeah.
And switching it up so it's consistent and
but also
not
still
just the same
all
people.
In the same kind of similar genres.
Yeah.
Like you're finding and getting a lot of artists down as well. Like you're having to organise a lot of people.
Yeah, 100%. And it's also just like, you know, the people aspect is just chasing them up, making sure they're still available on the night. Oh, there's an issue, they can't make it. Cool, I've got to find someone else now to replace their set, and it's like 2 hours to the event or the event started.
Yeah.
So it's just calling up random people being like, oh, can you pop down please?
Do you ever jump on?
Sometimes. I used to a lot more,
but
I'm kind of
hanging
up the headphones and trying to focus more on the event side now.
Yeah.
Still enjoy it as a hobby, but I've definitely decided I don't want to be like an artist or like the front face of anything.
Yeah.
Like to work behind the scenes, do the events, and I think that's a bit more rewarding for me.
Speaking about how you were just saying about dance music and doing underground things and pop-ups, how do you feel about the dance music has become a bit more commercialised recently in the last few years especially?
It's a weird one because from a commercial side, you know, helping Sabotage, that's great because these students, these 18, 19, 20-year-olds, they're coming down, they're the ones that come down on Thursday night. And because they hear it on the radios, they hear it played in their cars, they hear it on TikTok, on Instagram, it helps that a lot.
The rave culture that has been created around. I think it's become like the aesthetic around rave culture.
It's the aesthetic. Now. It's like wanting
like
to be part
uni,
of it.
Like being free. You go and do all the.
It's the rebellion. It's like everyone wanting to kind of rebel because that is what the rave culture started from.
Yeah.
And now you know the commercialized side of that is kind of taking a bit away, and people are just trying to look for money. You know, you've got your major labels now putting their hands in and stuff, and
completely.
It is changing the whole dynamic. I'm on the fence. I think something more underground will be created from this. Whether that's drum and bass or 140 or a new genre that will come in a few years. But at the end of the day, drum and bass as a whole has only been around for 30 years. It's still such a new genre. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where it will go. The real ravers will want, you know, something away from all this sort of TikTok crowd, the younger audience. Yeah, so they're going to want more that rave underground feeling.
Do you think the community values will spread into that, or do you think it will be taken away because of commercialization?
Yeah, so I reckon that the rave, you know, culture will always stay that, but you know, especially with these TikToks that don't kind of understand the sort of history behind what it is. You know, you see it sometimes with DJs, and there's in drum and bass, there's this whole not even just drum and bass, but in DJing lifestyles, there's this whole culture around like dub culture, which is like their own unreleased songs as an artist. But now because of like the internet, that's getting spread around a lot more. People are clipping that, and then DJs, like local DJs, then downloading them, and it's not their songs. They shouldn't have them. People are playing it out. And that's like a big no-go in the rave culture.
But it just goes against the value of
everyone is kind of doing it now, and there's a big clash with that.
It's a very big shame that it has come to this point.
Yeah, 100%. But then, again, the positives are that everyone makes a little bit more money, people get more recognition.
Do you think you have to feed into it a little bit to market your events now?
For Sabotage, 100%. Yeah. 100%, yes. It has to be.
Because it's a weekly event as well.
Yeah. And I reckon some people probably turn their noses up at the brand because of that. But at the end of the day, that's what that brand is, and I want Ludacris to now become more the underground scene, and the creative and the fun aspects of it.
Quite nice that you're being able to dip into both.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
Learn from both sides as well.
Exactly.
Bring it into each other. Where do you think the future of dance music's going?
It's definitely just going to get bigger and bigger. Yeah. I don't think it will die down. I think it can only grow. Again, I think there's going to be some more genres that will go a bit underground. But as a whole, I think it's just going to get more popular, more streams. You know, people like a bit more energy.
Especially with TikTok and the way that it's presented now. I think because it is more about like an experience and like taking the pictures, taking the videos and being there rather than it's like I'm there to listen to what's being played.
100%. Yeah. And it's also the fast-paced aspect of dance music, whether that is drum and bass or house or techno. They're much faster genres than your typical bands. And I'm even finding that some bands now, their music is faster. You don't really have that slow... For at least what I listen to and what I've dived into, I think it's kind of shaping a lot of genres rather than just the dance music world.
I think we'll see a lot more merges between instrumental and electronic.
100%,
like drums over more electronic. I mean, I personally quite like that music. So there'll definitely be a step into seeing that kind of thing.
No, I totally agree, yeah.
And with the event scene evolving, how do you think the idea of like the experience of events like Boomtown, how do you think that's going to affect the event scene?
So I think that people nowadays, so we're coming now into the sort of generation of the lockdown children or the teenagers, where they didn't kind of go out during lockdown, and we're seeing a lot of Gen Zs now not wanting
that are
to drink.
raised literally on TikTok and Instagram.
100%, and they haven't got that kind of clubbing mindset of going out, and they don't want to drink much. They don't want to spend loads on events. So I think they're more looking for unique experiences, and I think the event world is then going to get a bit more. You're seeing it more now with like the 360s.
Yeah,
you're seeing it in like there's
it has to be immersive. People need to be engaged.
People want something to feel a bit special or a bit part of, and also something to film at the end of the day. They want to kind of brag to other people that they've been there. That's my perspective. And I think you're going to see
of being there.
Yeah, it's a status. Like I think people are more, you know, if we're talking about the next generation of ravers or party goers or event goers, I think they're going to want a lot more. I think they're going to want to invest more into one unique experience than a weekly event, if that makes sense.
Okay.
So
less
pay a little bit more
and more just like one big day.
I think there'll be probably less festivals overall, but the ones that do will just be bigger. I think it is vital to keep it going.
Yeah,
for sure.
100%. And I've kind of actually come to my final questions for you now.
Oh, yeah.
So have you got any advice to anyone who would be wanting to start putting on their own events?
Definitely give it a go.
Yeah.
And see where it takes you. Don't give up after the first one or the second one. You lose money. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. So when you're starting up a brand and you have that sort of base professionalism, I think it looks much better than just starting off the back with, you know, put a bit more money into your branding, put a bit more money into your posters. Maybe don't do it yourself, pay someone to do it, and just have that sort of look of it.
Would you say in-person marketing is still very relevant in these kinds of things?
Yes, but changing. You know,
do you think in a way it kind of still fits that, like, the aesthetic of rave culture of what it used to be, so people like the flyering?
I'd like to think so, but from experience of being out flyering, nobody wants to take a flyer anymore. Like, they're not interested.
And they will just throw it up and put it in the bin, and then
exactly.
It's a waste of 30
It's just a
quid.
waste. Yeah, exactly that. But I definitely think it's a good way to go. It definitely, especially on the night, it really helps just people know what's going on. I think you definitely got to have a balance of physical and digital. Yeah. But definitely push digital a little bit more. Because everyone's on their phones now. Yeah.
It's just the new wave of what it is.
It is, yeah.
Is there anything that you kind of wish you knew before you started putting on events?
Anything that I knew, I guess everything that we've kind of learned from uni. The degree has been great, in the sense of, you know, how to budget, you know, the licensing. I had no idea that, you know, you have no idea it even exists before you start. Yeah. And, you know, all these kind of, it's hard to pinpoint like just one, but all like the behind the scenes, like logistical sides, definitely didn't have a clue. Yeah, budgeting's massive. Yeah. You don't want to put all your money into one event and then you've got nothing left to do a second one. Definitely set your break-even points and your ticket prices to match that. Know your capacities, know how much you can sell a ticket for. Yeah. Not overprice the market. That kind of thing.
As you said before that you're working on Ludicrous, is there any like goals that you're kind of setting with that, or where you're wanting that to be going?
So I really want that to dive back into the 90s and 80s rave culture. I really want it to be like a brand that, you know, you would think that it was a 90s brand in today's like kind of setting. So a lot of it is going to be based on physical marketing and in real world marketing. Everything's going to be marketed through a phone number, like exactly like it was in the 90s. And then online, I'm still going to push that, but it's going to be just like capturing the physical or in-person marketing as the promotion for the event.
That's really exciting.
So it should be exciting. Yeah, I'm really excited for this new little adventure, and I think it'll be something cool.
Something stepping away from Sabotage.
Exactly, yeah. And also it's going to be away from nightclubs. It's going to be in like unique little spots.
My last question is, what are you listening to at the moment?
So I actually don't listen to loads of drum and bass outside of it. I hear it so much every week, so I kind of like to have a step away. I listen to a lot of spoken word rap and like really chill beats and that kind of music. Okay. Examples are like Monster Florence. I don't know if you know them.
Don't.
No. Paranoia.
We'll have to link it below.
Yeah. Loyal Kana. We all know Loyal Kana. Yeah. He's quite cool, but not much drum and bass, to be honest.
No. But I can imagine it gets a bit tiring.
It does get a bit tedious
and you
sometimes.
listen to it all the time because you're listening to who you would be putting on and stuff like that. Like, it's kind of all consuming and quite heavy as well. It's quite nice to take a bit of a step away from that.
No, 100%, yeah.
So that was my final question for you. One thing that I would like to do with the shed is get you guys to ask me a question. So have you got anything that you would like to ask me?
Where do you see the future of promoting an event going?
I think, like we kind of just touched on, very much in the experience side of things. I think, unlike how you thought about festivals, I think festivals are just going to have more and more money pumped into them. I think they'll become like week things. It will be fully immersive, like how maybe in a way that like technology's brought into it more, like digitally. But I think it's definitely going to get bigger and moving into more dance music events and day events, and it being a whole immersive experience around like 7 days. And you, like Boomtown is, you just step into it, you're there, and that is like your world, and you're just in a different world, and then you leave. And that's how I think it is going to become. I
think they're the best kind of festivals, aren't they?
I mean, we have so much fun at them. I've been to Boomtown. I'm sure you've been to Boomtown. Like it's a great time.
Incredible. Yeah.
It's crazy and
really dissociates you.
There you go.
From the real world.
It does, but I think in a
that's
way
what you need.
You kind of need
it's like
that.
A holiday.
Like you go on a holiday and lay by a pool. So why would you not step into a festival? Like you're walking all the time. Like Boomtown, you can do the map and you can do the clues and you can find things. Like I think, especially now with our attention spans being so short, we're constantly needing to be stimulated, and I think those kinds of events will boost that stimulation.
100%.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, cool. Well, that's the end of this one, guys. Thank you very much, Josh.
Thank you for having me.
That's okay, and thank you for listening, everybody. If you like this one, follow and subscribe, and we'll see you next time. Thank you very much.